Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shaw Craft One and my old barn door. Barn door treasures on eBay and Digital Diane Designs on Etsy for digitals only. And today I am going to do the much requested tutorial on how I did the flip flop journal. This was inspired by Leslie over at 507 Willow House Journals. And so I already sold the other journal that I showed you, and I had a lot of people ask for a tutorial on how I made it, so I'm just going to do that. This is the pink Christmas one I told y'all I had already started, and so this is the base of it. That's what it looks like. So we're going to work on this journal together. This is another one that I had started, and I did it with the bigger envelopes. And I really like how it turned out, but it's not Christmas themed, so I will do this after we finish the Christmas journal. And I may work on this one off camera because but yeah, I used chapter 1 papers in this one, and I love how it's turning out. So pretty. So but I'll work on this one and get it in the shop as quick as I can as well. But we're going to work on this one together. So the first thing I want to show you is how I put the base of it together, because that's where I think it can be confusing if you let it be. But it's really fairly simple. So I'm just going to simplify it as much as possible and show you how I did it, because you know my brain, I have to simplify everything for my brain. Leslie, she can do all kinds of flippy floppies and you know, but I just had to simplify it for me to be able to put it together and not get confused. So let's just get started. Okay, so you're basically just going to need some envelopes, and this was my mock-up that I made just to kind of help me to know what I did. And so you're going to need, let's see, 1, 2, 3 larger envelopes and then a smaller envelope. And these are all just from junk mail. I'm telling Mom and Jeff both, save me any envelopes that you're not going to, you know, use from the mail. So they've been saving me envelopes. And so, but this was the mock-up that I did. So you need 3 larger size envelopes and then a smaller one for your front little flap. Okay, so I have a little stack of them here. If you don't have any junk envelopes, that's fine. I have this little basket here of envelopes that I have collected over time from thrift stores and things like that. And it would be perfectly fine for you to use envelopes like this. You can use anything you want to. It's your journal. Make it what you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and grab out some envelopes, and you kind of want them to be the same size, but it's okay if they're not. You can always cut them down. It's not a big deal. It's very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one, and that one looks to be about the same size, so we'll use that one. And that one's a little bit shorter. Let's see if we can find one that's not shorter. Let's see. Yeah, that one's about the same size, but I actually like, I was trying to find one where it has maybe a bigger window, but I don't know that I'm going to have one. Well, this one kind of has a little bit bigger of a window, but it's a little bit smaller. Maybe we'll just use this one. Okay, so there's our 3. And then this one is a little bit smaller of an envelope. My brain is thinking for just a second, because I need a flap on this one, and this one doesn't have a flap. But it's okay if you use these. It's, you know, you can use any kind of envelope you want to. However, I could just add a flap. I think I'll do that and show you kind of how you can improvise if you don't have the perfect envelope that you feel like you need. So 3 larger envelopes and 1 smaller envelope. It's really all you need. Okay, let me put these up and get them out of the way. Okay, so to get it started, I'm gonna sit my mock-up to the side because it's confusing me. Sit this one to the side, and we're gonna move this one out of the way. So basically, you're just gonna take your envelope, whatever envelope you have, And I'm just going to glue this flap down. Okay. Very simple. So where's my glue stick? If I can find my glue stick. Okay. How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are doing wonderful. And I wanted to say thank you to all of you who have participated in the journal clear out videos that I have done. Yesterday's was the last one for the season or for this year. I do have a few more journals, but they are still in the shop, and so just kind of waiting for those. And so it'll probably be after the first of the year, and some of those are going to go back to the creator or the artist who made them if they don't sell. So I'm not sure if I'll have another video after the first of the year or not. But anyways, all of them have sold that are going to sell. And so I've got everything kind of, well, I still have a lot in the storage area. I still have a lot of those journals in the storage area. So, all right. So anyways, I hope y'all are doing wonderful. And I really, really appreciate everybody who participated in that. Now, you can do one of two things here. You can either cut the edge off here, but since this envelope is kind of, let me just make sure I'm in frame because, okay, I am. I just wanted to make sure y'all could see. But because this envelope is kind of torn right here, it doesn't give me a whole lot of room to do it on this side. So I'm just going to do it on this side. And so all I'm going to do is basically, I just want to open up this envelope. So on the long side, you're just going to open it up. Just a very thin little sliver of it. Okay, and so now I'm going to turn it this way because I want it to open on this side. And the envelope, oh, I stuck it together with the glue. Doggone it. Okay, well, if you mess up, just get a different envelope. But I think I can salvage this one because it's not stuck down all the way yet. And it's okay if you tear it. See, this one's tearing, but that's okay. Just try to remember when you glue your flap shut not to glue the bottom of your envelope together like I did. Okay, I've got that pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to take, before we attach these two, I'm going to open this envelope completely up so that I can decorate the inside of it. But let me just think for a second because I need to attach this one. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to attach these. That way I don't confuse you. My brain's having to think about this. All right, so we have our envelope here. And it doesn't matter which way you have it. You just want to open it on this side, or you can open it on this side, but I've had mine open on this side. Okay, then we're going to take our second envelope, and we're going to keep the flap open on this one. I'm going to tear that off, and I'm going to take my X-Acto knife or whatever knife you have in your craft frame, and I'm just going to open this envelope up. Okay, and we're going to open it up on both sides. And you don't have to be super exact on this because this is just the very base of the journal, and so it's all going to be covered up, so it's not going to matter. All right, so we've got our envelope open, and then we're going to take this flap here. Let me uncrinkle this. And we're just going to glue it directly to this envelope where our little pocket is. So we're going to glue it to the back side of this envelope. And I'm just using a glue stick. I love the Uhu glue stick. It's very strong glue. and I've not had any problems with it. So you can use whatever kind of glue that you want to use. I wouldn't suggest using a cheapy glue stick because you want your journal to stay together and not come apart. And sometimes those cheapy glues, they'll start letting go after a while. But you can use wet glue. You can use Fabri-Tac. You can use art glitter glue. Aleene's Tacky Glue is one of my favorites. Okay, so we're just going to glue that right to there. Okay, so now we have our pocket here, and we have our other envelope here, and this is the front. Okay, so now with this opened up, let me put my lid on my glue stick real quick. I'm going to take this other envelope, and since this is all kinds of jacked up, I'm just going to cut it off. So even if, you know, because sometimes Mom, when she opens her mail, she just rips it. And so, but you can still use those. You can just improvise. It's not a big deal. And again, I can't cut perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, get rid of all of our junk. And then once I have that, this keeps messing with me because I keep thinking it's a window, but it's not. All right, so then we're going to open this one up the same way we opened this one up. So I'm going to scoot that to the side. And I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife. And open both sides. Whoops. See how I cut that one a little short, but it's okay. So I'm just going to flip it over like this and just try to even that out a little bit. But again, it's no big deal. You don't have to panic because you can fix everything. That's what I love about journaling or journals. Okay, so now we have our envelope opened up. Okay, and because I don't have a flap over here, I need something to attach this to, because when this folds up, you want it to be kind of even over here. So I'm just going to take a scrap piece of paper and add a flap here. I'm just going to make it real simple. And it doesn't matter what kind of scrap. Because you're not going to see it anyways. Alright. So I'm just going to add some glue down here. Now you won't have to do this step if you don't have to cut. If you don't have to cut your flap off, you won't have to do this step. But no big deal. It's just an extra little step, and it only takes just a second to do it. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay that down right in there, and it doesn't even matter if it's straight or crooked or anything else. Well, I do kind of want it a little bit straight. Okay, and then I'm just going to tear off this little extra bit down here at the bottom because we won't need it. And then this is going to be my flap. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this so that I have that little bit of a crease to kind of give me a guide as to where I want to glue it to the next envelope. Okay, so now we have our flap, and then I'm going to take some glue and put it on top of our flap here. And then we're just going to glue it right to this envelope. And again, it does not have to be perfect, but you know, you want it somewhat straight. I'm not saying that it doesn't have to be straight, but it doesn't have to be perfect is what I'm saying. Okay. So now that is the basis for our flip-flop journal. It's that simple for real. All right, so the way this is going to work is this is going to fold in this way, and then this one's going to fold in this way, and this is going to fold in. Now sometimes you'll have one that's a little bit too much, so you can make adjustments for that. But I think that's going to work. And then it just folds up like that. So let me kind of give you an idea. So this is your extra envelope that we're going to attach in just a second. So you have, this is your front. Okay, then it folds open. There's the little pocket. So it folds open like that, and then it folds open like that again, and then it folds open like that again, and this one folds out a little bit further, but I'm okay with that. Okay. I had to do some trimming on this one because it didn't line up like I needed it to. So, all right, so here is the base of your journal, okay? So once you get it folded open, oh, you know what? This one's going to fold backwards. That's right. All right. So let me just show you how I did that because I don't want to confuse you. You have your first envelope here that has your little pocket in it. Okay. You have your second envelope, which is this envelope here that's glued onto your first envelope. And then you have your third envelope here that's glued onto your second envelope. So when you get ready to fold it up, you're going to fold it in, and in. And then when you get here, you're going to fold it backwards. Just like that. Okay? And that is what gives you the flip-flop. So when you open it up, you'll have a signature here. And then you flip it open, and you're going to have a signature here. Okay, then I'm going to close this back up, and then I'm going to close this, and this takes you to the very back of the journal. But if you open it this way, you're going to have another signature right here. And then when you close this signature, you're right back at the front of your flip-flop journal. Hopefully that didn't confuse you too much. All right, so then we have this little envelope here that we want a little bit smaller of an envelope to be like this first little flap that I have here. All right, and again, this one doesn't have a good flap on it, but we can just improvise and make us a flap. So I'm just going to trim this off. Okay, and get rid of all the trash. All right, so since we don't have a flap here, we're going to make one, and I'm going to make it on this back part because I want to be able to use my windows. Okay, so I'm just going to take another scrap piece of paper and make myself a flap here. Let me find a piece that's going to be big enough. Let's see. This one will be big enough. All right, so I'm just going to glue it down here. And I'm going to be careful this time and not glue my envelope shut. Okay. Hopefully I'm not getting my hair in the video, in the camera. Okay, and then I'm just going to tear off this little extra little bit down here. And then I'm going to come over here and open it up to make sure my glue's not sticking to the front and I'm not closing up my envelope. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold this piece backwards just to kind of give me an idea of where my envelope folds. Okay, so now we have our envelope flap. Okay, so this would work just like our envelope flap. It's just going to work backwards. Okay, so then I'm going to bring over this journal, and this is the very first envelope with our pocket. Okay, And so I'm just going to glue this flap to the back of this envelope here. Just like that. And I kind of don't want it to be in the center. And you know what? I think I want to turn it this way because I think I want the pocket to open on this side. Since I have a pocket on this side, I think I want this pocket to open on this side. So I'm just going to fold my flap backwards. I'm going to put some glue here. Just like that. I'm going to fold that out so that I don't get them glued together. And then I'm just going to bring my envelope over here and kind of line it up with my fold like so. Just like that. And you have the base for your flip-flop journal. So you have your first little flap here, your second envelope here. It opens up. You'll have a signature here. When you fold that signature over, then you can open this up and you'll have a signature here. Then you can fold this back up. This is the very back of the journal. Open it up and you'll have a signature here. Okay? So that is how you create the base of your flip-flop journal. So if you have any questions on how, I know it can be a little bit confusing when you first start, but just try it. And like I say, you can't mess it up. You can always just take it apart and redo it or get another envelope. That's the fun of it being junk mail. You don't have to worry about it. It's just paper. So play around with it and get it where you want it. So anyway, if you have any questions or if you're confused, just let me know and I'll help you the best way I can. So I think I'm going to end the video here so that it's not too long. And I'm going to do another video. We're going to do a series of videos and we're going to decorate our journals. We're going to decorate this one. But I'm going to start with this one so that I can show y'all how the easy ways that I decorated inside the pockets and things like that. So that it'll just make it a little bit easier for you. So I'll come back and do that in another video. So again, if you have any comments or questions, contact me. I'll help you any way that I can. And leave any comments that you have below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for me if you will. And I hope y'all have a beautiful, beautiful day. Big hugs.